Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoor. I am Winston Chester, and I am so glad you're here this morning. We had a great show lined up. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's show with the mayor and Bill. I always enjoy seeing them and enjoyed being with them yesterday. Let's take a look at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and a hard-working crew up there in Southport. And I'm going to tell you later on what a really nice get-together we had this past Saturday night. Today's high is going to be 75 and low is 57. Those numbers just switched around. Our water temperature, folks, it's gone up a degree. It's 67.1, and I know some of y'all wonder why I spend so much time with the water temperature, and you heard them yesterday talk about it in the bay system, and it just fluctuates, and it appears that's pretty warm for this time of the year. Okay, the river reading brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. We're looking at the Apalachicola Bluntstown of 5.4. I'm sorry, that's a 7.4 now. It did go up 2 feet from last week, and the Chaltessia Caryville, 8.3, so it's gotten on up there a little bit. 2 and 3, it went up 3 feet, and then Apalachicola went up 2 feet from over the weekend, and that's the rain, of course, that we did have. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today is December the 14th. A decent tide today, but the next 4 days going on into the weekend will be great tides for fishing. Some really good afternoon incoming tides. But we want to take a look also at the water temperature is right, like I said, 68. But what I wanted to show you something a little bit. Marine forecast in northeast of 6. But I'm going to pull this up, and Jeff's got it here. We'll talk about the. You don't have it on?
I got. Well,
okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Very good. We're talking about the equinoxes, the solstice, and right here in top left-hand corner you have the December 21st, 22nd. That's going to be the shortest day of the year. In top left-hand corner, you understand how it's sort of fading. We're pointing away. The northern hemisphere is pointing away from the sun, and although we are closer. We're going to go into the spring equinox, will be in March. But you see the rotation. Now, we rotate around the sun. I used to tell my students, the sun don't rotate around you, we rotate around it. But anyway, that's coming up in about 1 week, the winter solstice. And I was talking to Mason, my grandson, the other day about it, and I showed him this chart, actually, and he wasn't that. He's a junior in high school, and his science teachers hadn't showed that to him yet. I said, we need to go back and tell him to explain that to you and your classmates of what's going on with the shortest day of the year, the longest day of the year, and why we have that, how it all turns. So that's just basic science to me, and I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I've got a series of pictures coming up. I've got all kinds of things to cover today and all kind of just good stuff. We'll start off with this one right here. I know before we get into it, I want to tell you this is Zach's Family Restaurant in Slocum, Alabama. Now, here's the story behind it. Our lifelong friends, Benny and Marcia Forehand, and I want to tell you what kind of friends they are. We've been friends since we've been grown. We've just been the best friends. And we could always count on them, and we always did so many things together. The camping trips at Cape San Blas when our kids were little, and the fishing trips we've done, the hunting trips. Ben and I have done so much, and Marcia and Gail, and then us as a couple, and they've just been our closest friends forever. We like to go out and eat different places on occasion, and I tell you what kind of friends. I can sum it up in about 2 sentences. When Hurricane Opal hit, we were out of town. We came back into town the next afternoon, and our house was almost destroyed, and we didn't have where to sleep. And where did we go sleep that night? At Ben and Marshall Forehand's house, because they was kind of friends of ours. So we just done things our whole lives together, and a lot of outdoor stuff. And so they have a farm up there. Outside of Wausau, and they've been to a little place up in Slocum, Alabama. They said, y'all got to go up there and eat with us. So one day last week, we just took a day trip, and Gail, we set up a day, said we blocked everything off, and let's go. So Ben and Marcia and Gail and I went up to Slocum, Alabama, I think it was last Thursday, to eat lunch, okay? And here's the place. I got a little series of pictures. This is Zach's Family Restaurant. They're talking about how good the food was, so we just drove up there and just had the best drive. I want to show you the pictures. I want to recommend this to you. Zach's all-you-can-eat family restaurant. Okay, here it is right here. It's a buffet, and you know, people. Now, folks, this is fresh made. All this is fresh made. This is not something you get at a big old fancy restaurant. This is the real deal. And here's Ben and Marcia and Gail, and we just have the best time together. I just love those folks. They've been such good friends of ours for so long. And again, that's just a picture of the buffet. But I wanted to share. That's a little dining room there, and these are our kind of people eating here. And wouldn't you know it, I run into somebody that watches the show. This is Bob Tillis. He lives up there in the area. He comes down here and fishes. Loves the speckled trout fish in the bay, and it's just good to see. It was just a wonderful trip. I just want to recommend that to you. And it's that's Zach's restaurant. And all the food is just excellent up there. So now, well, we're going to go into the pictures. Let's first look at this. You know, the sea urchins. Let me see if I find them. Okay, the sea urchins. I've got some notes on that. I can get to it. And let's see, it's down here at the bottom. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Hey, this is Jerry Dunn from Westfield. I'm trying to send you pics on Facebook of dried sea urchins that I made into Christmas tree ornaments. Watch the show every day. Keep up great work. Anyway, so this is the sea urchins we were talking about, and we talked about this last week, I know. So he makes, like we mentioned the other day, ornaments. Then I got another one from Dennis Brannon, Mr. Chester. I want to read you the whole thing. I sort of skimmed through it. The sea urchins, we talked about them, and I'm confused about them being protected or regulated. Back in the 70s and 80s, we would snorkel around Shell Island, and for entertainment, we'd chop up urchins with dive knives and watch a fish feed on them. And there wasn't much regulation. A few years ago, watching a TV show, I saw it as a gourmet delicacy. So he went on to say we wanted to check the FWC regulations. So I can't seem to find a clear, definitive definition of harvesting sea urchins. So he really basically, that last paragraph, you appear to have quite a few connections with FWC, so if it's not too much trouble, would you please ask if someone could clarify this for me? Thanks, love your show, Dennis Brannon. So we're talking about, okay, we talked about what FWC did 2 weeks ago. They took all the sea urchins in the south part of St. Joe Bay, 100 5-gallon buckets, and then relocated them in the north end of St. Joe Bay, and which is not really, destroying the sea urchin. So if you know the correct route on that, I do know a lot of people in FWC, or used to know a lot of people in FWC. I don't know that many people in there now, and we have less communication with them than we ever have. I'm going to have Stan Kirkland come on the show this week, and I'll ask him that question if he can find the answer for us. So that is interesting about what the regulation is, and they do change a lot. And with the fishing regulations all in this, and the hunting regulations. So that's a good question. So we'll try to find that out as soon as we can. Or if you know the answer, text me or call me, and we'll talk about it some more on the show. But the sea urchins are they're interesting. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We were talking about last Saturday night. Drew Potter had his office, his Christmas party, but it for all kind of people. Invited a lot of folks there, and people bringing. Some of y'all invited. Some of y'all brought. Well, everybody invited. Some of y'all brought some toys and all, and that was a toy drive, and also get together. This is going to be an annual Christmas get together, and all the toys, of course, are going up. We're taking them this week. I'm going to help take them up there to Waller Elementary. So I've got a little series. I just took my phone. I didn't take my camera. I just wanted to share with you, talking about good folks doing good things for good people, and that's what we really talk about on the show. So we'll start. Let's see. We got the food. All right, this is Jason Ferris preparing the food. There's Drew in the background. Drew's working his behind off, and I've just got a little series of short clips here. And I'm going to talk about this table later, and the big old shrimp boil going on, and they were firing it up. Let's see, some of it's still shots, and some just that's taken. You do the shrimp a little separate, and that's what they're doing, boiling that, and that's what the way we do ours to see. And here we are, so they're taking them. I'm always fascinated with the cooking around the gathering and all. And they fed a lot of people, and you see back there, that's a shop up there. Okay, and then here we go, got the shrimp, and putting them, okay, just taking them around and spreading them out. That's James. Okay, that's Drew. Okay, and get them all spread out and then stir them up. And let's see, and then, okay, and then a good time was had by all. That's Jenna. And some people ate there, and some people, that's Jason and Strickland. So here we go. These are the toys. Some of the toys here, let's see. Look at the little bicycles. All right, now here we go. So I just took this is my phone. So look at all the toys that folks brought. Isn't that amazing? There's Jenna, there's Drew's wife and little baby. And they're so proud. Look at all those toys by there, folks. Is that just fascinating? One little get-together, that group of folks up there around the Southport area, just bringing stuff in. All those toys are going to Waller Elementary, and it was just, here's a still shot of it. I took one more still shot of it. And what was funny, I was trying to find, I'm gonna be honest, when I do stuff like this, I try to think of when I was a kid, what I like to play with. So I took a whole bag full of basketballs and kickballs and volleyballs. Took a lot of different kind of balls up there, and then I had some little fishing rods. I can't find them, but they're in there somewhere. A bunch of little fishing rods. So anyway, folks brought all kind of stuff. So I want to just say a big shout out to everybody helping on toy drive, and it seems, and a lot of people throughout the Panhandle, all the communities having to get together and people bringing toys. I was thinking, you know, all these Christmas parties going on like this one. Maybe it'll be just part of every Christmas party that we have in the Panhandle. People bring toys and just put it over in a corner like that, and it'd be amazed how much we gather up, and just let that be a part of the Christmas party, and that'd just be really cool stuff. So anyway, I got some more stuff here, but I was just really proud of Drew and Jen and all the stuff that was done Saturday night. Did a lot of fun. Travis went with me, and we're going to all try to deliver those one day this week. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go from a Christmas party to duck hunting this past weekend. I'm telling you all, this is one of the best seasons of duck hunting, and I get feedback from a lot of different people. It's going on a regular basis, and it's been a really good year and continues to be a great year on duck hunting. So I got some pictures here, and these are from 4 different duck hunters. Y'all know Blake Sutherland, the Panama City teal. Look at the teal, and got a dog retrieving. And that is a great picture. That's here in the Panama City area, okay? That's from Blake Sutherland, okay? This is Michael McLean, okay? Michael, hey, Coach, thought you'd enjoy these photos from the hunt this morning. Invited my buddy Cole Hanson over to Panama City area to show him a wood duck hole I scouted out earlier this year, okay? So he says he needs to get better on the shooting, but they did get some wood ducks. Good, okay. That's good shooting right there. And that's a pretty good little mess for a little morning shoot. 3 drakes and 1 hen. All right, that's the second report. The third report, Elizabeth Wingrove. This is down in Apalachicola Bay. She and Clay Murphy, Thunder Girl, retrieved her first banded, okay, look at that dog, but a banded wood duck. And that's the second one that we've talked about on the show about a banded duck. And okay, and then the fourth one, that's the fourth report. This is from Lake Seminole. Billy Grantham sent this in, and what Matthew holding right there, folks, that's mallards. Okay, mallards, and they're sort of, you got to be a good hunter to get the mallards. I'm telling you, they're smart ducks, and a good job. So that's 4 different reports on the duck hunting around here. Okay, now let's go, and that's good stuff. Now let's go from the Christmas party to ducks. Now let's jump into pigeons. Okay, this is good. We'll talk about carrier pigeons and all that. This is outdoor stuff. All right, this picture right here, got this email the other day from Dave Russell in St. Joe. Okay, check this guy out. Note bands on feet. Note the bands on the feet. The yellow one has his ID. The other one is a computer chip for races. Okay, he's been here since Monday. I contacted the owner and said he may leave or I have a pigeon. Okay, so here you can see the little bands, the little trend, okay? You can see one's yellow, one's green. That's cool. You know, they do these racing pigeons. So here is Dave Russell. It's been at his house. Okay, so I sent him I replied. I said, hey, that's pretty cool. You may have a quality pigeon right there. Is it a local owner or is he racing him now? Okay, so here's the answer. Okay. He was in a race Saturday. He was in a race Saturday from Georgia back to Spring Hill, Florida, where the owner lives. I spoke with the club president who knows the owner, but the owner only speaks Polish. No wonder the bird doesn't listen to me. He knows Polish. He's still here today. That is funny. This is a situation where, you know, these pigeon races, they've been doing that since mankind started, almost having pigeons flying around taking messages in wars and all that. And it's a high art now as far as giving these pigeon races across not just America, but across the world, the pigeon races. So this pigeon lights here at Dave's house, and I guess he still has. Anyway, I just thought that was humorous. So we'll find out what the continuing saga of the pigeon down in Port St. Joe. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. Appreciate all the viewership and you supporting our local sponsors. Let's take a look at our fishing game time today. Speaking of local sponsors, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at our time at this morning 7:16 to 9:16, and this evening 7:37 to 9:37. I do have one hunting picture to show you. Let's see, pull it up here. This is Travis sent this. This is sent in by Travis. My brother-in-law, Lester Johnson, okay, from Defuniak, got this 8-point Thanksgiving morning. Season off to a great start. This is okay. Good job, Lester. That's a nice that's a nice buck. Got to see him the other day. So good job, Lester. Now, I want to mention, what I want to mention next, it has no, really, I started to say it don't have anything to do with outdoors, but it does. The driving is just, Jeff and I were talking about this morning. We, a lot of times we get here early and it's real foggy, and we were talking about having people did not have on their lights in the fog. Folks, use your lights when you're driving, especially early in the morning like that. So, but then it coincides with what I was going to mention, and I just wanted to show this right here. The driving has just been incredibly bad, okay, in the Florida Panhandle. So this was November. Panama City police officials released November's traffic crash numbers, folks. This is where the traffic accidents were in November, this past month. 201. Let me repeat that. 201 traffic accidents in the Panama City limits. Now you can imagine all around the Panhandle. And as you can imagine, this is 15th Street right here, going left or right at 15th Street, and look at 23rd Street. Oh man, I try to stay off both those places. And then the other places, this is just Panama City limits. I also, Jason King over the Florida Highway Patrol sends me almost daily messages about the accidents here in the Florida Panhandle. I'm on the media page, and I appreciate him sending it to me. And a lot over toward Defuniak or Mariana and the driving. And the one thing, all the law enforcement guys I talk to and say the same thing. I won't read here. The last sentence here is talking about the speed. Everybody's going so fast now, and the one thing that we're not doing is leaving. And my driver's ed teacher, Coach Wendell Hoover, who Jeff is a big Georgia Bulldog fan, and we always went round and around laughing about the Gators and Bulldogs. But he was a great driver's ed teacher, and why these educators took driver's ed out of the classroom, I never know. We're trying to get it back in, and I believe in driver's education for young people. But he used this term cushion. It's always keep a cushion between your vehicle and the one in front of you, and they're saying the same thing now. The only bad thing about that, I was brainwashed to keep a cushion, or a boat motor behind me or whatever. I just always kept a cushion. Well, now so many people cut right in there in between you and the cushion, then you have to slow back down. So, but anyway, that's what they're saying here. Just keep a cushion and make sure you adhere to all the speed limits. But speed is really bad and reckless. I've never seen it in my lifetime. I've never seen it this bad. Okay, so now I do want to show you, let's end on a good positive note. Speaking of Christmas things, check this out right here. These are in at Sunjammers. This is a black and silver one, and they're selling, folks. And this is a great little Christmas I wouldn't call it, well, it could be a stocking stuffer or just a great present. Folks are already going down there, just got them in. He has some great order. Here's a green one here. We've got them in all different colors down exclusively at Sun Jammers. And I love them. I know I'm a little prejudiced, but they're all colors and all. And even in pink, hint, guys, they're in pink color also. So keep that in mind as you're doing your Christmas stocking, last minute Christmas shopping, okay? Let's see. I was going to do a little segment on tree stands. I just don't have time. All kind of things going on with, do-it-yourself tree stands going on. But let me get back to the last minute or so. Let me get back to the driving again, about how important it is, especially as outdoorsmen, because we drive a lot of times real early and we drive a lot of times real late, and a lot of times we have a boat, motor and trailer behind us. So we've always, I think, the outdoor people have always been driving good. And one thing that always bothered me, a lot of times I'd get up early, like 3 or 4 o'clock to do things, and the state troopers, I talked to one the other day, he put 30 years with the highway patrolman. He says 6 out of every 10 drivers after midnight, 6 out of 10 are impaired in some way or other. So always be aware of that, and just it's bad enough just normal people driving fast. Once they're impaired, you got to be extra careful. So I just wanted to pass that on to you, especially with holidays coming up and people, going to all the holiday parties and all, and they may be impaired. And try to, if you know someone doing that, just talk to them and try to call me up. I'll drive you home. Just call me, whatever. That's very important. I say that because I lost my only brother to impaired driver. So I always try to preach that story to try to get people to do the right thing. Thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors this morning. We appreciate the viewership. Do something good today for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.